Bukaki. Bukaki.
Like a star in my vast sleep, I opened my eyes to take a peek, to find that I was by the sea, gazing with tranquility. It was then when the hurdy-gurdy man came singing songs of love. That's when the hurdy-gurdy man came singing songs of love. Histories of ages past, unenlightened shadows cast, down through all eternity, the pride of humanity. That's when the hurdy-gurdy man came singing songs of love. That's when the hurdy-gurdy man came singing songs of love. Yeah, hurdy-gurdy, hurdy-gurdy, hurdy-gurdy-gurdy sang. That's when the hurdy-gurdy man came singing songs of love. That's when the hurdy-gurdy man came singing songs of love. That's when the hurdy-gurdy man came singing songs of love. Holy, 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 sang. Hurdy-gurdy, hurdy-gurdy, hurdy-gurdy-gurdy, sang. That's when the hurdy-gurdy man came singing songs of love. That's when the hurdy-gurdy man came singing songs of love.
People of Earth, how are you?
Good morning, everybody. What's happening? Good morning, George.
Good morning.
Pleasure to have you with us again.
Always good to be here.
Yes, and good morning to everybody. We're here at Sirius XM, Sirius Satellite Radio.
Hey now.
Once again, I got many, many beautiful email, and I saw on Twitter, people just always love when George is here, our announcer. They feel the show is much, much better. One guy even wrote that George is better than me on the show. And so there you go, which pleases me. I like that people like you so much.
Well, You're a discovery.
I like being here, and I'm glad that people enjoy it, but I certainly don't hold a candle to you.
You.
Yeah, funny you just said that. I just said, you.
Well, that's the way I talk.
You're infectious. I, in fact, was walking around yesterday for a good, 5 hours after the show doing George impressions. Working on it. It was a musculature. I was walking
I'll
around
never
like
hear the end of that.
No, I was just like, and Ronnie goes nuts because he's with me all the time. I just go, musculature. People walk up to me, I go, musculature. George Takei.
We'll introduce a new pronunciation of that word.
Yes. Tsunami.
Well, that is correct.
I know, but you know, you're so into it, it's funny. Musculature. You're overly into that. You love the language.
I love language, but I should consult with Robin more regularly for the correct pronunciation of words.
I mean, thank God you don't carry that over into your acting in the sense that you act more natural. When I notice that you're able to turn off this affect of yours.
Affect.
Yeah.
That's the way I am. That's the way I talk.
That's the way I am. I mean, you don't talk like that when you act, which is good, I'm saying.
Yes.
Because it's very peculiar.
Because I'm acting.
Right. You're good. I'm saying it's great that you turn this off. It's like, the guy who played Ironside in Perry Mason was Raymond Burr.
Yeah.
He actually talked like this in real life. You know, he was very, very gay.
Yeah.
He was very, but when he got on...
Did you know him, George?
I did do a couple of episodes of Ironside.
So you saw him flouncing around.
No, he did not do that on the set.
He didn't.
He did not.
My dad worked with him at my dad owned a recording studio, and he would come up Raymond Burr to do commercials. And my dad would describe that he would like flounce around like very ultra femme. And like it was really wild to see because here was Raymond Burr, this macho, I'm Raymond Burr.
And with all that massive body.
Yeah.
He was like Kirstie Alley, massive. Anybody watch Dancing with the Stars last night and see Kirstie Alley get dropped?
No.
It was the greatest thing ever. How do you mean you didn't see that?
I watched for a few minutes, but I can't sit through everybody. I saw
It's all over the news.
Cheryl and
She
Chris
was
Jericho.
Savik on Star Trek,
Kirstie, yeah, I know.
Star
You know
Trek
her.
2.
Yeah, God, she was a beautiful woman, right?
She was a fantastic... I said she's got Ruth Roman eyes, and she didn't know who Ruth Roman was.
Yeah, neither
And
do
neither
I.
do we.
You have Ruth Roman eyes.
Is that good or bad? What is Ruth doing
It's
with
good.
her eyes?
Get away from me,
She's
little
got
man.
great eyes.
Yeah, great eyes. But, yeah, she's very obese.
Yes, she is.
And they dress her up in a little dress, which is not doing much for her. And her partner is a big, strong guy, this Maxim character. Well, he drags her, she puts one foot down on the floor, lifts the other foot, and he drags her across the floor. It's a dance move. Well, he buckled under the weight. He buckled under the weight.
Oh my God.
You gotta watch it.
That is the worst thing that could happen.
He buckled and went right down, and she went down right on top of him.
So it's like one of those strongman competitions where you're dragging a truck.
He tried to lift her, and he explained later that his thigh gave out. That literally he just couldn't hold her. And I mean, what could be more embarrassing for a woman than to have a guy? This is a very muscular guy.
Oh, I
and
feel
she's more
for
than
her.
200 pounds.
Oh my God! I mean. You know what? It's unfair. She should have 2 or 3 dance partners to hold her up.
Yeah, when she gets lifted, he should have help.
Yeah,
She should not be lifted.
Let me see, J.D. Wine.
Rubenesque.
She was just dragged, and he couldn't do it. I guess they practice it, and then, it didn't work out. Here you go. Here's Kirstie Alley. They're dancing.
Oh, my God. How did she talk about this after?
It was great. Somewhere over the ring. Oh, she's not fit. Listen, if she was embarrassed, she'd lose some fucking weight. They're dancing here.
Oh, that was the worst This guy doesn't know the words to the song.
I don't know why I'm playing. Why am I playing this
The
to
whole
JD?
song.
Yeah, why did you give me the whole song? I don't understand.
I thought you liked it.
I just like that song.
It's very heart-touching.
What am I waiting for here? Am I going to hear a whole?
I thought you would make fun of the song. I thought that's all.
Oh, I see.
It was like a very, very romantic song. I don't know.
What dance are they doing to this?
Yeah, and at what point does she fall?
Well, when you heard those applause, that's when they got back up. And,
Oh.
And Maxim, her partner, just basically said to her, waved her off for a second because he was hurting. He was holding his
don't
leg.
come over here right now.
And then they continued to dance, and that's what they're applauding that day.
There was no audience
Here's
reaction.
what it looked like. Here, you guys could see it so you can laugh.
okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so you dragged her, and then boop. Whoop.
Oh, my God. Oh, poor thing.
That's good.
That was the worst.
The physical
best.
pain must have been as bad as the physical embarrassment.
She's so fragile with her fat and stuff that the judges were overly nice. I mean, they could see that they... You know who else is very fragile? Wendy Williams. They have to be very gentle with her because she starts crying at the drop of a hat.
So does Kendra.
Kendra, too. A lot of them are really fragile. It's a dance show, for Christ's sake.
And I've seen more tears.
Yeah. We got to interview Wendy at some point because I really like Wendy a lot.
I think she's great.
But she's got to get a grip on that shit.
She's crying all over the show.
She cries at the drop of a hat, and they know it. You could see the water pulling up in her eyes, and they kind of go easy on her. You know, darling, you did very well, but this week you took a step backward, and then she's going to cry.
Goodness.
Yeah, they're very fragile.
They ought to get John
Dancing is
Boehner on
emotional.
that show.
The guy who got booted off, the DJ, he's laughing. He's like, okay, who gives a fuck? Boot me
Oh,
off.
he's happy to be out of those rehearsals.
Yeah, he was just like, okay, I'm off the dance show. Now I'll go back to my radio show and fucking tons of girls.
Right.
Okay?
This was slowing me down.
Yeah, this was interrupting my dating. Then the judges, they have to comment on Kirstie Alley dropping like an elephant.
That song is about coming back after dealing with what life throws at you, and you had a bit of a challenge there.
I never knew Somewhere Over the Rainbow was about that. I mean, I didn't know. What do you mean it's about overcoming adversity? Somewhere Over the Rainbow. I didn't even know what that was about. It's about overcoming adversity?
I have no idea. Who cares?
Having a dream over the rainbow.
No.
I listened to Judy Garland sing it a million times and never thought about what.
Me neither.
It was moving.
By the way,
Particularly later in life, she had so many adversities.
we just tweeted out a link to the Kirstie Alley Fall. What is our official tweet address so people can sign up for that? Because a lot of people just follow me.
At Stern Show.
At Stern Show. At Stern Show. In case you need that tweet.
Wow. That's worse than I imagined
Yeah.
it to be. Because the way you were describing it,
You thought I
I
exaggerated.
thought he might have tripped.
No.
No, she was all over him, and he tried to lean down with most of his weight on one leg.
He buckled
and
from her
he
weight.
Buckled.
He
He
buckled.
couldn't handle it.
And that's a strong guy. He dropped it.
My thigh just gave out.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Now, the judges...
My thigh gave out. And she's not in the least bit embarrassed.
Oh, my God.
The reason this guy's thigh gave
Yeah,
out.
it was because of her weight. It wasn't him. He wasn't on his own. He was carrying her.
That's the worst thing for a woman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some dude drops you because his thigh gave out trying to hold up your girth.
The judges have to obviously base their comments on what they saw. So, Carrie Ann, we'll start with...
Well, first of all, why should the judges penalize her? She didn't do anything wrong. The fucking professional guy dropped her.
Well, again, you're right, because he choreographed that dance.
Yeah,
What
don't-
was he thinking?
Yeah,
He thought he was stronger than he was.
Practice like with wheelbarrows, like Rocky. Be funny to see him training like he's carrying an ox.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Have you seen those strongman competitions where the guys pull trucks, you
Yeah.
know, with their teeth and all
They
that
train.
stuff?
Remember Rocky was like Rocky 5 already. The franchise was falling apart. And he's fighting in Russia or something. And then he decides not to use weights or a gym. He decides to carry like animals. And then he's doing farm work. And then he's got
I
like
think
Jesus.
once he hooked himself up to a sled.
Right. He walks himself like a dog sled and he's pulling it around. Like that's what this Maxim guy should be,
That's how you train for Dancing with Kirstie, whatever her name is.
It'd be funny next week if she comes out with a forklift as a dance partner.
That would be great.
Yeah. It'd be funny, like you see him training for...
Or they put her on wires.
Or they hook her up to a horse cart in Central Park.
And flying off.
And put one of those big funny hats, like they put. I was riding by Central Park yesterday, and there's these guys with the horses. I don't know. It seems sad to me. I know
The handsome cab.
Well, people have told me, and those guys who ride them are not handsome
At all.
And it's it seems sad to me that these beautiful horses are in the city, and it's dirty and filthy. And I look at some of those drivers, and I go, could they really be feeding the horses all that
Or
well?
treating them well, yeah.
But I do know a guy who's very involved with horses. He's considered an animal expert, and he came up to New York. He doesn't get here often, but he did look over the situation and said the horses are actually treated very well. This is what he said.
Right?
Yeah. But yesterday I'm driving by these horses, and one of them has on a big purple plume hat. And I said, there is no fucking dignity for these horses.
No, poor thing.
Does the
Poor
horse
thing.
know he's wearing that?
He doesn't, but, maybe on